Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are staring down the chaotic, rapid-fire Wild West of artificial intelligence. I mean, algorithms are literally shooting from the hip right now. And AI is everywhere, right? It's growing way faster than we can track it, bringing massive potential, but also, let's be honest, some truly terrifying risks. But what if we had a master blueprint for a civilized, ethical AI future? Well, today, we're diving into exactly that. We are exploring the ISO/IEC 42001 2023 standard, which is this revolutionary framework designed to help organizations actually govern AI responsibly. So, here is our master plan to tame the AI frontier today. 1. The AI governance revolution. 2. Core principles of ethical AI. 3. Transparency and accountability. 4. Shifting to risk-based thinking. And finally, 5. From reactive to proactive. Let's get into it. Section 1. The AI governance revolution. Okay, let's establish exactly what's at stake here when artificial intelligence operates without a structured ethical compass. We hear about AI breakthroughs every single day, but honestly, we rarely talk about the guardrails. AI is revolutionizing everything from how we drive down the highway to how doctors diagnose life-threatening illnesses, but leaving these incredibly powerful systems ungoverned, that's just a massive liability waiting to happen. Think about it. If an autonomous vehicle makes a wrong split-second decision, or a banking algorithm secretly denies our mortgage based on biased demographic data, the fallout is absolutely disastrous. Operating without a standardized ethical framework is essentially flying blind. Section 2. Core Principles of Ethical AI. To bring order to all this chaos, we need foundational laws. We need a way to ensure these systems actually respects human dignity. But, it is incredibly easy for a tech company to just stand on a stage and say they want good AI or responsible AI. The real question is, how do we actually define ethical AI in a practical, measurable way that an auditor can verify? Well, the ISO standard lays out these specific foundational principles to ensure algorithms don't just function efficiently, but operate fairly and safely for everyone. We're talking about fairness and non-discrimination, meaning, hey, an AI used for hiring absolutely cannot favor one gender or race over another. It requires strict privacy protection, adhering to global laws, and most importantly, it demands a human-centered approach. The AI has to augment our capabilities, not strip away our autonomy. And to really make that work, we need transparency, accountability, safety, and explainability baked right in. Section 3. Transparency and accountability. Let's zero in on explainability for a second, because this is fascinating. Explainability isn't just about developers reading complex lines of code. It's about making a sudden loan denial or a medical decision completely understandable to the everyday human affected by it. The standard insists we eliminate that black box nature of AI. If a system makes a decision about your life, you have a fundamental right to know exactly why and how it arrived at that conclusion. No more the computer says no without a reason. So the absolutely crucial point here is that AI ethics isn't about the machine policing itself. There's no way. It is entirely about maintaining a human in the loop who takes ultimate responsibility for the outcomes. If an AI diagnostic tool makes a critical error, the hospital or the medical professional is liable, not the software. We have to establish clear, undeniable lines of human accountability. Section 4. Shifting to risk-based thinking. Now that we have our ethical compass defined, we need a robust methodology to actually enforce it. This introduces the real hero here, risk-based thinking. This fundamentally shifts our approach. Instead of acting like panicked firefighters putting out algorithmic blazes, we start acting like visionary architects, designing fireproof systems from day one. You don't wait for the AI to do something wrong. You meticulously anticipate what could go wrong during the initial design phase, and you build in the safety nets long before the system is ever turned on. This is a total paradigm shift. We can no longer afford to wait for an autonomous car to crash or for a hiring algorithm to spark a massive discrimination lawsuit before we finally decide to take action. Reactive management is just outdated and, frankly, dangerous. Proactive, risk-based thinking means we audit that algorithm for fairness using diverse data sets long before it ever reviews a real human's resume. Section 5. From reactive to proactive. So how do we actually put this into daily practice? The ISO framework gives us this rigorous, repeatable 4-step procedure. First, you identify every potential risk: technical, ethical, social, the whole shebang. Second, you assess them by scoring their likelihood and severity. Third, you treat those risks. And fourth, you continuously monitor the system. Remember, AI is always learning and evolving, so we have to stay on top of it. When treating these assess risks in Step 3, leadership actually has 4 distinct options. You can avoid the risk entirely. Maybe you throw out a heavily biased training dataset. You can mitigate the risk through regular fairness audits. You can transfer the financial risk to a third party by purchasing cyber liability insurance. Or, if the impact is super low, you can simply accept it within defined thresholds. It's a highly structured, logical way to make the tough calls. By categorizing these risks visually, organizations can proactively allocate their technical resources precisely where their models are statistically most vulnerable. You're not going to spend $1 million fixing a 1% glitch when your data bias is sitting at 30%, right? If cyber threats and data bias represent the vast majority of your vulnerabilities, your treatment plan should heavily prioritize things like secure data encryption and debiasing techniques over the less critical stuff. And keep in mind, machine learning models constantly evolve as they ingest new real-world data. So our risk monitoring must be a continuous timeline of vigilance. It's not just a one-time checklist that gets shoved in a desk drawer. An AI customer service bot that performs perfectly on day one might develop entirely new biases a year later based on the interactions it's had. Continuous monitoring is absolutely non-negotiable. Ultimately, adopting these rigorous standards and fully embracing risk-based thinking isn't just about checking regulatory boxes to avoid some fines. It is about actively fostering societal trust. It's about empowering us to confidently and safely collaborate with these incredible systems, knowing for sure that fairness, privacy, and safety are baked into their very DNA. I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. As our artificial intelligence grows ever more capable, processing vast amounts of data at speeds we can barely even comprehend, will our human-in-the-loop ethical frameworks actually be robust enough to keep us firmly in the driver's seat? We've got the blueprints for ethical AI. Now the real challenge is building it. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep asking the big questions.